All right, welcome once again to Breakfast Central. And of course, let's quickly get through the newspapers this morning, share with you the big stories making headlines across Nigeria today, and of course, in other parts of the continent, I believe. We're going to be starting on the Sowetan this morning. It says that Burna Boy concert promoter flees to the United States. It seems there was some issues with selling tickets at the concert or for the concert in South Africa, and the concert had to be cancelled. Claims that he sold only 1,500 out of 90,000. Also, the ANC can't defend cadre deployment. We can also find on the Sowetan this morning, organizer, of course, that's still on the Burna Boy, ex-convict partner reports dubious bank transfers to Santon cops. And top of the screen there, How I Beat Cancer, a beautiful story there. I think we probably should read it. But these are the only stories that we can share on the Sowetan this morning.
All right, on the Punch newspaper this morning in Nigeria, federal government may pay 1.68 trillion naira fuel subsidy. Marketers forecast 900 naira to the litre. Petrol price to rise again as naira nears 1,000 naira. Crude oil hits $95, Ipman warns. Operators commend government for subsidy proposal. TSOs oppose fresh subsidy. So you see the subsidy story. I think it's something that we need to revisit, because what it's telling us, whilst we understand that the federal government had to intervene because at this point things are becoming ridiculously difficult for Nigerians and it would have gotten worse. The question is, did they not think through the repercussions in the first instance when they announced that subsidy is gone? Because it looks like we took, I don't know if we took any step forward, but what if at all we did take any step forward, we've taken many more steps backward.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not quite sure I understand this whole back and forth with subsidy and why we can't get it right, and I really don't understand.
Yes, many steps backward, because now Nigerians are bearing the brunt with paying really expensive prices for petrol.
And you know what's
and at the same time they're paying subsidy.
And it will never get back to 185
No, it will
naira
never. No, it will never. You know, and so yes, I agree with you. You know, there's many steps that should have been taken. The whole argument, I don't agree with the argument of palliatives, in my opinion. I feel palliatives are a scam. Yes, you could give palliatives in a system that works, that you can actually audit the process. You can track exactly. You know exactly who you're giving the palliatives to, who really are the poor people that you're giving these palliatives to, how you're going to be sharing this 2 billion or this 5 billion. You can track it basically. But we don't have that system here. And let's be honest with ourselves, we don't. Nobody should lie to you. And so that's why I don't agree with the whole palliatives thing. I think it's a scam. But if we say, okay, let's not, do palliatives, I feel like there should have been a laid down process with which we remove subsidy. We should have started to look deeper at ending the corruption in the whole oil, sector in Nigeria first, and then we should also have started to look at how we can improve on our refineries and the possibilities of us refining petrol here by ourselves. Fix any of our refineries, set a new deadline. Say, okay, we thought we're going to remove subsidy here. We understand that there's no provision for it in the budget, but let's see if we can set a new deadline. The previous administration could have done it. They failed to do it. Set a new deadline. I'm not an oil expert, so please, nobody should quote me. Set a new deadline for removal of subsidy. Say, okay, at the end of this year, at the end of 2024, we're going to have at least a refinery functioning. At least it reduces the amount of money that we'll have to be using to send more, oil abroad and bring it back, and that whole mess.
It's just showing us that this wasn't properly planned. It wasn't thought through.
It absolutely
and
wasn't.
Nigerians are the ones that are suffering it, because you took away the subsidy. Now you've brought it back, but prices of things will never return.
Yeah, so what they've done is, and we did say this yesterday, that what they've done is reduce the amount of money that, allegedly reduce the amount of money that they will be paying for subsidy. It would maybe no longer be run into trillions of naira. This is an allegation. Because it will be very, very shocking and heartbreaking if we realize that we are still paying trillions and trillions of naira for subsidy, even when Nigerians are paying as high as 580, 590, 600 naira per litre of petrol. It will be very, very shocking. Wow. So we'll see how things turn out and how the government is going to, maybe reverse its opinions on subsidy and explain to Nigerians why we are still paying subsidy.
And apologize to us for having put us through such a ridiculous
I don't think an apology would.
The Punch newspaper front page. Let's see some of the stories that are on the front page of the newspaper. If you look at the photographs there, that is of course at the protest. We are going to be sharing with you a package of what happened yesterday night from Lekki Phase 1 to, not protest, I beg your pardon, peaceful walk from Lekki Phase 1 to Muri-Okola. Pathologists conclude autopsy on Mohbad's corpse. Please await results. I remain loyal. Forgive me, Shaibu begs Obaseki. Imagine him saying this with his two hands in the air. I remain loyal, my chairman. Cult clashes relocate to Shagamu, Abiodun tells security head. Consumers allege sabotage as grid collapses worsen outage. Honestly, it's beginning to look like sabotage at this point. Academic record, delay articles request. Tinubu tells US court. Legal team seeks review of ruling. Ex-vice president's aides alleges cover-up. Currency in circulation rises to 2.7 trillion naira according to CBN report. The money has it reached your hand?
No, it has not.
Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
Anyway, we did speak about the issues in Edo State earlier, so maybe no need to go back there. Pathologists conclude autopsy on Mohbad's corpse. Police await result. That one, of course, is a really, really painful story. And I say it's painful because I don't believe that anybody deserves to go through what this young man is going through, even in death. I feel it has been a complete show of shame, right from, even when he was alive, when his cries were ignored, to when he passed, and to what has happened even, after he has passed. It's a complete show of shame. He has been betrayed even 10 times worse in his death than he was betrayed when he was alive. He has been betrayed by his family. He has been betrayed by the Nigerian police. He has been betrayed by, everybody who's using his death, to chase clout, and using his death now to raise views on their social media. He has been betrayed by his father, who's using his death to raise money to furnish his house. That one for me is one of the most shameful aspects of this whole conversation. Completely disgusting aspect of it. Betrayed also by the police, who didn't know that they should have carried out an autopsy, and they should have investigated because of his death. Now they have to go and exhume his body. And if you know, for those who do not know, if you know or have heard of the process of an autopsy, it is a very, 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 very treacherous thing. It's one of the worst things you can do to the human body.
It's a reminder of, I don't know if the full song, but every time I think about it, I remember Fela when he said double wahala for dead body.
That's exactly what it is, because and it's even worse because this is post burial. Now you're going to exhume the body and then go through
it open again.
It is one of the worst things. I don't want to call it mutilation, but it because of course it's legal, so I feel that Mohbad doesn't deserve this, because he did absolutely no harm to anybody but make music. He was an artist. He started as a carpenter, became an artist, signed unfortunately to a wrong record label, found himself in the wrong place. Did not deserve this. Did not deserve this level of betrayal. The mess, the show of shame that has happened, even yesterday, with tear gas being fired at people who were at the toll gate. There's arguments as to why they were there and what they were doing there in the first place, but that's not even my problem.
Okay.
The whole show of shame, I honestly feel like he didn't deserve this.
He doesn't deserve it at all. About anyway, when we get to entertainment, I'm sure we'll talk more about the tear gas conversation. But it's just very sad, and I hope that justice prevails, and it's not a situation where anything is covered up, anything is muddled up. I wonder where Naira and Sam Larry are.
That's why I keep saying that it's a show of shame, because
they can't be we don't know which country they are. They can't be fished out because they obviously have questions to answer as to how he was bullied and harassed. Come and answer that one first. And then talk about his royalties, which is a subject of conversation. His brother put out a tweet or a post allegedly saying that the way in which we have accused his brother is the way Nigerians will still beg. He hopes that they will use that same energy to apologize to him, and then he put hashtag no mercy with one blood.
I don't care
emoji,
about either of them, him or his brother or their siblings or anybody in their family. I don't care. I'm saying, or my point is, that if the Nigerian police was sincere about, and look at this embarrassing hashtag under the Nigerian police, tweet. Justify it almost feels
who are they asking to give
that's what I'm saying. I mean, it almost feels like they're mocking the whole process.
It's our family members that will give justice.
If the Nigerian police itself, hasn't been able to get itself to understand that in the whole idea of investigation, and I was asking yesterday on the group chat, what exactly do they know that they're investigating? If the police says, okay, we're investigating his death, what exactly are you investigating? Are you investigating the cause of his death? Are you investigating why he was buried so quickly? Are you investigating the medical negligence that maybe may have caused his death? Are you investigating the things that led to him even getting to the hospital? What exactly are you investigating? What are you doing an autopsy for?
Well,
to prove
it's
what
probably all
he
of them.
died. No, but because if it is all of them, then I believe that these names that you've mentioned should have been called in for questioning. They should have gone for questioning long ago. They should have gone for questioning the people who were with him. The one that made that video should have been called for questioning.
Yeah.
The people in the hospital should have been called in for questioning. I mean, we don't know that these things have happened. In a sane society, you would see that the commissioner of police or somebody, at least a spokesperson for the police or local government chairman, will be giving updates, even if every 6 hours. And this is where we are. This is what we're currently doing. But we don't have that here in Nigeria. But it's the same police that you're expecting to carry out a proper investigation that has shamelessly, I'll say in bold, capital letters, put it as bold as you want, shamelessly has pictures with the same people that Mohbad accused of threatening his life. This is the only country that you will see this type of thing happening, that the police are in pictures with the same people that Mohbad said over and over and over that if anything happens to me, this person should be blamed, or this person should be held accountable. They are in pictures with that same person. The governor of Lagos State is in pictures with these same people. That
in their defense,
there's no defense. No, and this is why I say there's no defense. I get it that pictures can be taken every now and then, but there should be, and I believe that if you live in a sane society, there should. Yeah. If I know who these people are, there's no way that the police does not know who these people are. Well, if I know who they are, and I know the things that they've been accused of, and we've seen these videos and these allegations, there's no way police will say that they're not. In all fairness, this is the same police. Olive, I am sorry. This is the same police or NDLEA that has made Naira Marley an ambassador. So you should understand where I'm going.
I hear where you're coming from. I hear you completely. But the arguments regarding the pictures could have been taken at any time. And before now, there's a presumption of innocence, right? 36 sub 5. I do, of course, think that the police is they have questions to answer as to the fact that he did write a petition to them, a petition against Naira. I don't know what the police did about it. So they have questions to answer in that regard. But I don't know if it may not be a balanced comparison. But Jeffrey Epstein, the pedophile who eventually has been killed,